Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's Mary Jo Coulihan. I'm the Executive Director for the Pagosa Springs Chamber of Commerce. It's a gorgeous Wednesday, and it is also Business After Hours Wednesday. So this evening, 5 o'clock from 5 to 7, we will be at the Geothermal Greenhouse Partnership location, which is behind the old county courthouse from 5 until 7. You know, I stopped by there earlier today, and every time I go by, I'm just amazed at how beautiful that park is and how many things have been added to that park. Not only the growing domes, but solar and a native wildflower garden and landscaping and just a music venue. There are very important. There are toilets out there. So if you're walking the Riverwalk, I mean, it's really a beautiful location. And the GGP has done a wonderful job, and they are ready to see you there tonight. So join us this evening if you are a chamber member for our what month are we in? August, Business After Hours. Just as a reminder, we will not have Business After Hours in September because of all our Color Fest activities. So Color Fest takes the place of Business After Hours. And with that in mind, I need to remind you that our reserve tickets for the Passport to Pagosa are sold out. However, there are still some tickets left for the Wine Festival on Friday night. And there are tickets for Saturday's Bands and Brews festivals. I think we have almost a dozen breweries committed right now. So very exciting for Color Fest weekend happening September 16th through the 18th. And also a reminder that our adventure raffle drawing will take place on the evening of September 17th. That is at the Bands and Brews Festival at 7 o'clock. You can get your tickets online at the Chamber's website, pacosachamber.com. And as our reader board here says, 1 ticket for $5, 3 for $10. And of course, you would like to buy 7 chances for only $20. It's a phenomenal package. It's a 2021 Razor, as well as the towing trailer. That's a $20,000 package. So easily. So buy your chance to win. You can't win if you can't win if you don't play. So go ahead and play. We also are raffling off a stand-up paddleboard complete with everything, the oars, the carrying case, the pump, everything, and a Kona Lava mountain bike. So 3 phenomenal prizes, and you can win. So get your tickets by going online. I have another really time-sensitive and important announcement to make, and I'm going to use this announcement to lead into our guest. But that is, we have a very, very quick turnaround time for this training session. And that is, attention all you business owners or individuals that are looking to get your Class A CDL license. We are going to be, through the collaboration of the Chamber of Commerce, the Community Development Corporation, Region 9, and private enterprise, there will be a Class A CDL training class beginning August 30th. Now, the class itself the theory class will be on August 30th, and that will be from 9 until 3, so all day. So if you're working businesses, let your employees off if you want them certified for Class A certification. Now, before that, you're going to need to get your physical. So between now and August 30th, schedule a time, quick physical. You are going to need that in order to get your permit. After the 30th, you have just a few days in order to get your DMV, your Colorado DMV permit. So this is how I use the analogy. It's like the kids going out and learning how to drive. They got to have a permit in order to get behind the wheel. Same thing for Class A permitting. You've got to go to the DMV and get your permit to drive the Class A CDL. After that, you will have your behind the wheel training, and that will be organized with the trainer. And so they're going to be working around your work schedules, your school schedules, whatever it might be, because we want to get some people trained and certified and in businesses here in Pagosa Springs. We have a number of businesses that are interested. Now, I will tell you that there is a limited amount of people that will be allowed to be in the class. So if you are interested, please call me 970-264-2360 to get registered for the class, and I will give you some more information. Not only that, but here is one of the most important parts of this whole program. There is money available for you for your tuition, products, anything like that. You will be responsible for funding your own physical, but there is money available for your tuition. These licenses run anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000. Once the grants are applied for you as an individual or a business, this takes the cost down to about $1,500, depending upon how many people are in the class, maybe $2,500. So again, really critical information. If you are watching this and you know anybody, you know any business that is interested in getting their drivers certified, please call me right away so that we can get them listed. It is a first come, first serve basis, and we do already have some people registered for the class. So once again, if you are a business interested in getting any of your employees certified for CDL training, or you're a mom or a dad out there or a grandma, and your son or daughter or grandchildren are looking to get certified, send them my way because we're anxious to have them apply. Now, I'm going to use that as a lead in to our next guest, who I am absolutely thrilled is joining us today, and that is career and technical education. However, his job description is so much more than that, as we are very pleased to have on our show today the new superintendent for the Archuleta County School District, 50JT, and that is Mr. Rick Holt. Rick, welcome to Pagosa Springs and welcome to Livestream with me.
Well, thanks, Mary Jo. I appreciate you having me on. And what an incredible opportunity you guys offer to get a CDL. It just reminds me I should make a plug for, if you're interested in using a CDL, we would love more bus drivers. Bus drivers are definitely neat. So if you're interested hanging out with kids, you want to drive a bus, you should reach out.
Absolutely. Well, Rick, you've now been in Pagosa on and off, but you are not new to Colorado. But so can you give us a little bit of background about what you were doing before you came here to Pagosa Springs?
Sure. I've spent the last 14 years in the Roaring Fork School District. So that's in the valley just north of Aspen there, basically from Basalt to Glenwood Springs. I was the middle school principal there for 5 years. And then I spent the 9 years working out of the central office as the chief academic officer, which is essentially the assistant superintendent. And we have about 13 schools and 5,500 kids or so. And so that was it was a great job. I love that job. And then before that, my wife and I, we lived in Alaska. We had spent the last 12 years there, also working in schools, mostly public education. I did a couple of years where I did some consulting, but my heart has been in public education now for more than 26 years, I guess, and looking forward to many more right here in Pagosa. We love it here.
Well, that's great. I hope that we meet all your requirements and look forward to having you in the community. The school systems, not only here, but nationally, have just really gone through, we're open, we're closed, we're open, we're closed. So disruptive for families, children. Where do you see us looking at? Where are we this year? And what do you see in your crystal ball for us?
That's so funny. I was about to use the term crystal ball. Because I would love one of those. So if you have a few extra ones
mine's
around,
very cloudy.
That would be fantastic. I want to be careful not to overstep, my domain, but I would say that we're very hopeful that school opens and returns to normal. Not that that's a particularly exciting theme. Hey, let's return to normal. But I do feel like now's a great time for us to do some reset with students and families and staff about the hard work we've done in the past before COVID. We've done a lot of complicated work during COVID, but it hasn't always been we haven't always had access, at least in Roaring Fork, to our best instructional tools because we've had students opting to be home, or we had to wrestle with the quarantining expectations. And so I'd say this year, right now, as things go, it looks like we'll be back in school and returning to what I would say is normal, where we get to spend the best quality time with students in the classroom, providing the highest quality instruction. And teachers are busy already getting started on that. We've had Jumpstart, which is summer programming, begin. And then next week, starting Monday, we're excited to welcome all the staff back and start laying out exactly what that might mean for individual schools.
Right. So I know it's a short time that you've been here, but obviously applying for the job and now getting the job, do you have any high points that you would like to accomplish, either 1 year, 3 years, your most immediate, and maybe some longer term goals?
Well, I don't want to overspeak. I mean, my responsibility is to respond to the request of the board. And so the school board began earlier this month laying out their priorities for the district, and they've identified a top 4 or 5. And so we'll be working on those and developing strategic plans in this board meeting this September on the 13th. We will, the board will be more or less saying like, that's the right direction to head. And I think what's really important here is that anyone who comes into this position doesn't come with a list of things that they want to do, that they say is important, and instead respond to what the board and what we hear from staff and community are saying. These are our most important things. So I want to be really cautious about avoiding things that I may like or find enjoyable versus what we need and when I say we, what the collective stakeholders say we're ready to focus on. So I'm actually looking forward to the board meeting in September, where we get a little more direction. We already have a high functioning strategic plan, which is super helpful and is nudging us in ensuring that we have well-rounded education for our students, that we are both academic and social emotionally focused, and we're good partners to the community. But I'm looking forward to that next layer of detail that'll come by working with the school board.
Great. Well, what else would you like to mention? Anything on your agenda or comments or concerns?
I would say that I have been really overwhelmed with how kind people have been since we've landed here. A number of folks have taken extra effort to reach out and welcome us, to make us feel included, whether that's asking us out or going for a bike ride or just stopping into the office. And I've been really impressed with the community partners that we've had, whether that's the chamber coming by or working with CDC or working with Southwest Collaborative. There's a number of organizations that are deeply interested in the success of our students. And that feels really comforting, and it feels good to be in a community where so many people are interested in the success of all kids, not some kids, but all kids. And so I had assumed, and we all know how dangerous assumptions are, but I had assumed when I came to a community like Pagosa, that would be the case. And it's just incredible to find out, like, not only is it true, but there are just an inordinate amount of people who are like, we're here for the kids. What can we do to help? And so
Sure.
that has been very rewarding to hear that.
Sure. Well, I've watched over the years the increased usage and capability of the school's website. You know, again, technology has changed incredibly. Any words of wisdom for the parents out there as we prepare for the new school season?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think one thing that we want to shift is and it's been a tough couple of years, and we've had to do some online learning because of that. And because of that, we've seen a decline in attendance, and that's understandable. Some of that's, partly due to quarantining, but we want everyone to feel reassured that the best learning, the most healthy learning environment, the most effective learning environment is in person with your students. And We want to encourage families to reinforce that with their own kids. And if they can't get their kids to school themselves, then by all means take advantage of our transportation department. Full circle back to the busing. We have amazing people that work in the transportation department who are ready and willing. Like, their flexibility is amazing to me, and what they're willing to do to make sure that your kids get, or people's kids get safely to school. And I think that should be part of our normal. Part of our normal should be hitting that 90% plus attendance mark, and our families partnering with us to ensure that kids are in the classroom ready to learn. I know we're going to really help students see that the core work is done with us in the building. So if you hear your child say like, "Oh, they said I could do school from home," that's not true. That's not what we want to do. We want to get your kids in with us. We want to spend time with them, and we want to support their learning in the classroom.
Well, great. Well, it's wonderful again to have you with us. Any last words of wisdom for the public out there before we let you go back to one of the many things you are trying to accomplish before school starts?
Well, don't forget, it's still summer for another week or so. So like, enjoy the outdoors. I've actually been enjoying the rain. I was surprised that we had as much rain. Sounds like it's not completely typical. And I'm still wearing flip-flops to work because it's summertime. And I know that first week of September, I got to switch up my footwear. So take advantage of that this next week.
With all this rain, I think you're back in Alaska.
Yeah, sometimes that is true. That is true.
But you're not. But you're here in beautiful Pagosa Springs, and we welcome you again as the leader of the Archuleta School District, our new superintendent, Rick Holt. Rick, thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy day to join us and introduce yourself to the public in another media format. So thank you so much.
Thank you, and you're welcome, and thank you for having me.
You're welcome. All right, everybody. Once again, a new community member, and we welcome Mr. Holt as our new Archuleta School District Superintendent. That's it for me today. We hope that we see you this evening at our business after hours. We're not quite sure it's going to rain, so I think we're looking good. Don't let it scare you off. Grab an umbrella. We can jump into one of the geothermal domes and hang out there, or with the tent, under the tent that the chamber has. So join us this evening, 5 o'clock, at the Geothermal Greenhouse Partnership Growing Domes. And also, don't forget, if you know anybody, or you are watching this show and know anybody that would like to get certified for a Class A CDL license, please call me at, again, 970-264-2360. Or you're a business that is interested, give me a call. I will be happy to speak to you. We hope we get some people certified and into our business community. That's it for me again. We'll see everybody next Wednesday, right before the Labor Day weekend. We look forward to it, and we'll see you, and have a great week, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us.